I'm back again with another video that I think is really going to help so many people. It's definitely something that I wish I had seen over the past 8 years. It really would have helped me out. So today I'm going to be talking about agencies and temporary work, because I mean, if you've ever had to search for a job, you know, sometimes it takes a lot longer than you originally thought that it would. And you know, you want to make some money. In the meantime. And even if you just love to work with agencies anyway, and that's just what it is for your industry, or whether you are looking to kind of fill that gap and have something productive to do during your job search, I think that you'll get a lot of great tips and helpful things that I know work. And I'll tell you why. I have worked with agencies for probably pretty much most of my adult working life. So I've been working with agencies who specialize in customer services, in warehouse work, catering, hospitality, social media. I've compiled this video with some tips and some tricks and some insight into the do's and the don'ts of working with agencies. So let's just get into it. First of all, be on time. I mean, I feel like this is something that we should have learned at school. I feel like this is something that we should have mastered at school, but absolutely being on time it's a must. Okay, that is the number one way to show someone that you're reliable, you're serious, you're ready to get to work. The last thing that a consultant at an agency needs is to get emails and moaning and complaining from clients that the staff that they're sending them aren't showing up on time, because frankly, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for the consultant and it's embarrassing for the client. So always show up on time. In fact, show up early. Show up 10 to 15 minutes early, especially if it's a place, you know, you're actually going out to different sites and it's not at the same site. Make sure to get there early, because you never know. You know, there's things that have happened to me where I've gone to the wrong building by accident, but because I was early, I made sure not to be late. So that's number one. Now, this second point that I'm going to go over is, it's honestly so kind of underrated, and I'm not sure why, because it makes perfect sense. But I think the thing that I'm learning is, you know, sometimes there is things that we don't know about in terms of communication and networking, and specifically with nurturing clients and nurturing the people that we come in contact with. You know, we don't really think about nurturing our relationship with our recruitment consultant, but I'm telling you, if you do this, it will work out in your favor. And that is to simply stay in contact with your consultant. If it's been a while and you haven't got any work, go ahead and send them a friendly email, because it puts you at the front of their mind. They might genuinely have just forgotten that you exist. You know, these people, these consultants and people that work in agencies, they're reading hundreds of emails per day, being pulled left, right and center all the time. So you may genuinely just have fallen out of their mind, and the best way to avoid that happening is to just send them an email. And what I like to do is I like to get on the phone with consultants. Even though it's easy to send an email, I love to get on the phone and have some general chit chat, you know, try and learn what they like outside of work, you know, just some general small talk, because then I'm able to see if I can pick up on something. For example, the other day I was speaking to someone. It wasn't related to agencies, but I was speaking to someone and we spent a good 15 minutes talking about cats, which I was not expecting. But what I did was I needed to email her about something, and I started off picking up where we left off about cats. And what that does, you know, when you talk to people and you remember the things that you're talking about and the things that you have in common, and then you bring it up later, is it really helps you to stand out in their mind. And it also helps to build a sense of common ground and likability. You know, people like people that they think are similar to them, and people like people that they believe care about them. And just you taking the time to get to know them and to you know, have like little not insider jokes, but you know, like a good rapport, that can definitely be, you know, that can definitely work in your favor. So stay in contact, try and find some common ground with your consultants, and just, you know, obviously be friendly, be open, send an email every now and then, and yeah, it really, really does help. Another thing that is really, really underrated, I think, is showing off. You should absolutely show off. If you know different languages, put it on your application or put it on your agency profile online. If you have a DBS, oh my gosh, if you have an enhanced DBS, I know some of them aren't transferable, but you know what I mean, like anything that you can think of. If you've got first aid, if you speak different languages, if you you know your typing speed, anything that's relevant to your industry, put that down and remind your consultants of that, because you never know if out of the blue your consultant is going to have a client come to them with very specific needs and you fit the bill. So that happened to me not too long ago, you know. I saw a position, I just missed out on it, but I did tell my consultant, you know, I got my DBS, and she was, you know, pinged me straight back like, oh my gosh, please send it over so we've got it on file. If anything else comes in where we need a DBS, I'll get back to you. And so showing off, and just, you know, letting them know what you bring to the table. It might seem small, but you never know if that's going to be the thing that's going to give you an advantage over getting shifts here, or, you know, getting shifts there. Definitely show off. Another tip, which I think is pretty standard, is referring people to your consultants. And it's not just for the however much monetary awards that you can get from referring people successfully, but referring other people to the consultants obviously helps them make more money. And who doesn't love that? So go ahead and definitely refer people, because I can almost guarantee that they'll not only appreciate it, but you'll stick out in their mind again, and if anything comes in, they might really want to return the favor. However, you need to absolutely use this with caution, because if you don't, it may backfire. Whoever you refer, especially if they're like your friends or, you know, something like that, make sure that they are hardworking, they are reliable, well presented, and serious. You need to make sure that they are a quality candidate for whatever you're putting them forward to, or else your consultant's probably going to think you're a little bit of a wally for putting someone in and, you know, referring someone to them. So just make sure when you refer people that they're good quality. Okay, so we've pretty much done the do's for agency work. So now let's do the don'ts, because I see people doing some stuff and I'm like, girl, I'm not surprised you're not getting booked. I'm not surprised. So let me help you out. So, got my notes here. Number one, don't make consultants chase you. These people are super busy, like we all are, but they have mountains of candidates to come through. It's a very stressful industry, you know, recruitment and everything like that, and staff management. It is a lot. Do not make their jobs harder. Make sure to get your timesheets in on time. Make sure to read through the assignments properly. Make sure if they request something from you, they send you an email asking you for your availability or something, make sure that you get back to them as soon as you can. It is so important, because if they have to chase you, they're not going to give you more shifts. They're not going to put you forward for positions. I promise you that. Now, the next couple don'ts are more to do with your chances of getting employed, especially if it's if you're looking for like a part-time position, a permanent position, It doesn't even have to be like an interim thing, like, you're doing admin at the moment, but you actually want to work in IT. So here we go. And the next few tips, actually, I got from someone who used to work in recruitment. And so these are some hot tips, okay? The first one is, do not sign up to multiple agencies. Now, I didn't even know this. This blew my mind. So say, for example, you work in marketing and you want to do social media management, and you sign up with one agency that do social media management, and another one, and another one, and another one. In your head, it makes sense. It makes sense to put as many eggs in as many different baskets as you can. I'm pretty sure that's not the saying, but you get what I'm talking about. You want to make sure that you really put yourself out there. However, according to his name, I think his name was Atta, really lovely guy. According to him, when you do that, because all of these different agencies have clients that overlap, what could happen is agency 1 can send your CV to a client, then agency 3 will send your CV to the same client, then agency 5 will send that CV to the same client, and your CV will show up on that list multiple times. And what that does is it makes you look desperate. It just makes you look desperate, and you're very unlikely to get a call back, because the client or whoever's reviewing the applications is like, why am I getting this person's CV so many times? So do not do that. What you should do, however, is make sure to choose a few select agencies that specialize in what you want to do, and you should take maybe 1 or 2. I'd say 2, potentially 3, but 2 is a nice safe number, and go ahead and sign up with them and spend a few weeks or a few months with them and see if they're bringing you any work. And if not, get someone else. So say, for example, you got a little bit of work from the first agency, nothing from the second agency, and it's been 2-3 months. With that second agency, forget about them, put them to the side and sign up with a third agency, and just keep on kind of rotating when and as necessary. And that avoids that problem of having the CV show up multiple times. Next is, do not be super rigid. I know that it's tempting to write down exactly the kind of work that you want to do with this agency, and most people are just with the agency in the interim, but they're looking for that dream job or that dream position. And it can be easy to say, well, I'm not going to do that, I don't want to do that, I'm not going to do that, I don't want that, I don't need to do that because I'm not desperate for the money. But here's the thing that makes you stand out in the sea of candidates and other agency workers is the willingness to just get it done. Seriously. And I can testify to this, because I was in a situation last April where I just signed up to an agency. I'm still with an agency. I signed up with an agency, and she told me that the hours were going to be between 3 and 7 o'clock, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or something along those lines. However, when she sent me the confirmation email, the start time was 7 in the morning. And I had told her I live really far out, so getting somewhere 7 in the morning, that was a lot. However, not only did I need the money, but I realized that this was a chance to show them how serious I am about working. It wasn't ideal. It wasn't the type of start time or the type of shift pattern that I wanted, but I was willing to do it. And do you know what happened from that? Every single other time that particular client needed someone to step in, I was the first person. I was the first point of call each time. And I still would be if that company were were around, they closed down, but I was the go-to every time. And I wouldn't have gotten that if I was like, oh, I'm not doing it anymore. You know, obviously within reason. If you can do something, do it, because they will remember that. They will. The last tip that the last two tips that I have, I've just remembered them off the top of my head, so I guess they're do's, but I think it's a nice way to round off this video. At the end of the day, for you, it's just a shift. It's just potentially just work that you're doing now to get some money in your pocket. But for the clients that you're working for, this is their business that they care about, that they take seriously, that they have to show up to every single day. And I think that something that's really underrated and so important in even being able to go back to the same client for the same assignments, like, you really want that. And to be able to get those kind of repeat assignments over other people, other agency workers, is by treating each and every assignment that you go to as if it was your full-time dream job. And I know that might sound a little bit odd, but if you can go in there and have the mentality and the mindset that you are there to do the absolute best that you can do, even if you're going to be there just one day, you never know if that one day can turn into multiple days. And the way that you do that is by showing up. And if you haven't got any work to do, get up and be proactive. If you need to sort out some emails and you've gone through the emails, don't just sit there on your phone. Get up and say, hey, what else can I do? Can I do some folders? Can I organize some folders? Or do you need help with this? Or do you need help with that? Be proactive. Be proactive. It's really, really important, and it shows that you are someone who cares about their work and that you're serious work. And the last little tip that I have is sing the client's praises. I'm telling you, sing the client's praises to your consultant, and I promise you, you will get more work there. Because at the end of the day, consultants want to know that you truly enjoy working there and that you and the client get on. So those are all my tips, my do's and don'ts for this video. I really hope that you've been able to get some sort of value out of this. And if you know anyone who is looking for a job at the moment, or someone who is thinking about joining an agency, then please do feel free to go ahead and send this video to them, because I do think that although some of these points seem really simple, really basic, sometimes that's all we need. We just need the basics. We need the simple things. So easy to overcomplicate things when really just keep it to the basics. Keep it to the basics, keep it consistent, and yeah. So that's the end of the video, really. If you do like it, then please feel free to subscribe, leave me a comment. I would absolutely love if you do that. I do think I'm going to go ahead and put my socials in the description box from now on. So go down into the description box and you can find me on Instagram. I'll probably put my email address there if you want to be old school and send me an email. But yes, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day, and I can't wait to come back and share another video with you.